Hi there, hi everybody. My name is Gunnhildur and I'm one of the co-creators of the Yggdrasil deck along with my father, Haukur Halldórsson. And on the occasion of the amazing winter solstice 2020, I'm going to do an Yggdrasil grand spread. I have many requests to show how to make the grand spread of Yggdrasil. And I'm going to show you how I do it, and by doing that I'm going to celebrate winter solstice with you and the great conjunction which is coming with this winter solstice, the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. So it's exciting times, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start the reading. So I'm going to show you how to do the grand Yggdrasil spread. But first I'd like to tell you that it's of course possible to just do 3 cards or do the Celtic cross or whatever spread that you are comfortable with. You can also use the card as an oracle deck. But this is the grand spread of Yggdrasil, which is made for this deck, and it's based in the worlds and how we see how they sit in the Yggdrasil tree, which is the following. So the cards will come into these places in a certain order. Number 1 will go to Asgard. Number 2 will go to Hel. Number 3 will go to the elf world, the light elf world, where the Vanir live. Sometimes this world is called the Vanir world, Vanaheimur. And this is the black elf world or the dark elf world, which is more the subconscious. And then the Midgard, which is the current now state of your ego now. So the card that comes here represents that. So then we have the world of the giants, Jotunheimar, which represents the adventure, the journey that you are on to a certain goal. And the goal is Asgard. Sorry, I forgot to say that. So Asgard is your aspiration. Then you put the card in Niflheimar, which is the foggy and icy world of things, the world of things that are maybe hidden to you. And then Muspelheimar, which is the world of kind of a fiery energy where fire giants live. Very strong, explosive energy. And then the dwarf world, which is your industrialness, the way you work, your work ethics, your monetary situation, how you are with money, your relationship with money and your work and your industriousness, let's say. So, without further ado, I shall start. Just want to put a little, I just always put a little sage. I kind of have a need to do that. It's not necessary, but I just do. So here we go. Number 1, Asgard. We get Ymir in Asgard. We get Irmin in Hel, which is awesome. We get Freyr in the black elf world. Freyr is a light elf, or is he a... And then we get Urðabrunnur in the black elf, in the dark elf world. And in the place of Midgard, we get Skadi. And in the place of Jotunheimur, we get Embla. Niflheimar, we get Frosti. We get the rule of 3 in Muspelheimar. And we get Gná in the world of industriousness. So let me try to explain to you how I would read into this. So each placing influences the card. Each card is also from a place, like from these little symbols here tell you where the cards are from, and you have the little symbols here in the book, Asgard here, and they are all explained a little bit. So for example, in Hel we have Irmin, which belongs in Hel, and Irmin Sula is our way of trying to reconcile opposites. So Irmin Sula would be, Irmin would try to reach all the way to Asgard from Hel, would try to connect opposites. So it's very good to have him in Hel. It means that whatever fears I have, whatever might be holding me back, it means that I, who is putting the spread, is trying to reach out with that, was trying to heal that, let's say. So I think that's actually very fitting for the conjunction, because if this alignment of Jupiter and Saturn is happening now in an air sign, it's also about ideas spreading and ideas reconciling opposites, let's say. So, and in the Ausgard, in the place of aspiration, where we want to go, it means we get Ymir. And Ymir comes from the world of giants, and he is a giant, and he is the proto-being. He is the one who was sitting inside Ginnungagap when nothing else existed, and everything is made from Ymir. So Ymir is, he's a hermaphrodite? Sorry, my English. Hermaphroditic giant that is, everything is created out of. So he is just full with possibilities, which is incredibly in line with this alignment that is happening on these solstices. So that is all about like ideals, imagination, innovativeness, and proto-creation, to invent something new as a solution to a problem. So that is an amazing placement for Ymir to come there in Ausgard. So the place of now, the Midgard, is we get Skadi, she's the great huntress. She's always on the move. She's hunting for something. She has a lot of ambition. She likes to be in the mountain. She is quite solitary. She likes to hunt alone. And she is how the situation is now. I don't know exactly what to read into that. I could read into that for a long time, but I'm going to try to keep this video short. But that would then embody the situation for this spread now. And she comes from the world of Niflheimar, of what is hidden, but she is placed here now in the world of Midgard, where humans live. So, so in the place of the dark elves, we have the Urðabrunnur, which is the impact of our decisions, and we have that here in our place of the subconscious. So it's the three Norns, Urður, Verðandi, and Skuld, and they live by this magical well of rejuvenation, because from there they take the white mud that they always apply to the trunk of Yggdrasil to always keep it healthy. And we get that here in the Black Elf world. So there's a lot of healing. It seems like it's going on. So now, in the sub workings, healing is happening. And then in the place of Jötunheimar, which the Jötunheimar here represent in the Yggdrasil spread, they represent the journey. They represent the journey basically to Ausgarður, so basically the journey to where we want to go. So let's say for the winter solstice, we want to have innovativeness, imagination, and ideals to rule our action in the coming 200, 300 years. So which will be the time until the next conjunction of this amazing Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. So then Embla comes here in the journey. Embla is also just full with possibilities. She's the first human woman. She's made from the elm wood. She is ready to become. She's a proto-woman. She's ready to take on what comes to her and almost like become it and be and just tackle whatever comes. She is totally new. She knows everything and nothing at the same time. Everything is new to her. She sees everything with fresh eyes. And in the place of Niflheimar, we get a being from Niflheimar. So Frosti, he's the son of, he's one of many sons of Fornjótur, who's the king of Niflheimar. And he means the mindfulness and the lightness of the moment. So impermanence also of the moment. But as we know, the moment holds a lot of magic if we can just be in the moment. So he is like music. He's only existing while you are hearing it. He's like a snowflake. He only exists until it lands and then it melts. So he is this kind of energy, and he comes. He's a very good energy, very creative energy also. And he comes in the place here of Niflheimar. So it's hidden to us, this energy, but it's working with us. Especially because he is from Niflheimar and he lands in Niflheimar. It reinforces his influence in the spread. So in the Muspelheimar, we get the rule of 3. So this is some kind of authority. This comes like in somebody who is going to make a decision. It's almost like the judges. Some people read this like as if it's Vili and Ve and Odin, the 3 brothers. And which it's quite an interesting take, and I kind of have adopted that reading also. But so they are the authority. They are the authority, and they are landing here in the place of Muspel, which is the fiery, almost like a wrath energy, very volatile energy. So I could see this now as a kind of authorities, just kind of official authorities in this moment, and how they have to react to so many things in this moment. So yeah, it's an interesting placement for this card. I'd have to think about that a little bit, how to read into that. So, and lastly, here in the place of industriousness and in the place of work, we get Gná. Gná is one of Frigg's handmaidens, and she is the messenger. She has a horse called Hófvarpnir, who can travel through the air. First of all, he can fly. He can also travel between the worlds, all the worlds of the whole tree of life, and can also, so between realms they can travel, and also he can travel in time. And Gná sits on him and she brings messages. So I think in this day and age and in this placement of industriousness, she is representing communication through the optic fiber, through the internet, and through existing everywhere at once in this magical time that we are living in, with the technology that we can do our work remotely. Like I'm now bringing you this reading through this camera, and I'm sitting in my home and you're receiving it in your home. Gná is an amazing card, I think, for modern technology. So I'm not going to go, I could read into this much more and interconnect all the cards, but I just wanted to give you a short introduction on how I think the grand spread of Yggdrasil, how the worlds interact with the card. So how you see that Embla, who comes from Midgard, is now landing in Jotunheimar. So she represents the willingness to take on the adventure. And so if she would have, for example, you can imagine if Embla would come in Hel, that would bring a completely different meaning to her. It would maybe mean that she's too easily persuaded and that she's too easily molded maybe to somebody else's will, and she doesn't see clearly and somebody else can influence her, and she always is, she never gets her full form, because Hel is always meaning something that will hold back the actual meaning of the card. And since she is from Midgard, the place of Hel would definitely influence that. But in this case, we have Irmin in Hel, and Irmin is from Hel, and Irmin is the thing that can actually reach out of Hel. So it's an amazing card to get inside of Hel. So nothing is stuck. There's not fears holding anything back. There's nothing really holding back in this case. So to get Irmin in Hel in this spread is just very amazing on this on this beautiful magical day of the winter solstice. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you so much. I hope it helps you to understand a little bit about the cards. Oh, I should have made a photo. Well, I'll just set it up again. So, and I mean, you don't need this mat to do the spread. You can just draw it up yourself on a piece of paper. It's Hel, Áthgard, Black Elves, Light Elves, Midgard, and then Jötunheimar, Niflheimar, Múspelsheimar, and Dvergheimar. And that's it. So thank you very much.